Hey everyone, Irit here, and today I want to share with you an unboxing, swatching, and first impressions of the Altenew 36 half pan watercolor set, which you are seeing on your screen right now. Altenew kindly sent me this set, and I didn't purchase it, so I wanted to say it, but I'm going to share my opinion about it. And you can see now the beautiful colors. So I just wanted to give you a glimpse so you'll know what to expect, what's coming your way in this video. And you will see me swatching everything. So this is how it comes. I also got the extra pan case, which you can, I think they had a sale, which you got it included with the set. And now I'm pretty sure you can purchase it separately. And it's pretty nice. I have to say, I really like the box. I think if you don't have a particular attachment to metal tins, and I'm saying that because I do really, really love my metal tins, but if you're not particularly attached to them, I think this is a great option, and I'll tell you why. There you go, because you can fit very easily most of the half pans out there. So I could fit the one from Sennelier. If you have Sennelier half pans, those fit without a problem. I also could fit without a problem the empty ones that I buy from Jackson's Art Supply. Of course, the Altenew ones. The only thing that I had a bit trouble with was a pan. You see that on the left side, that weird pinkish purple color, which I got from an Etsy seller, and that was kind of hard to take out. Now the Schmincke half pans are a bit chubbier than the other half pans, and they fit kind of, I had to push them in. So just a note about that. So let's take a look at the colors. Now the one thing to mention in this set is almost all the colors except the black are mixtures of 2 or more pigments, and a lot of the paints have white or black in them. So I wanted to mention this because this is a little bit different than most of the artist grade sets. What I'm doing now, I'm adding a drop of water to each of the pans just to get them going, to activate them, and these paints activate very, very easily. They are extremely creamy. It really depends on what you're used to. It depends on the brand. If you're familiar, for example, with the Winsor & Newton Cotman pans, those tend to be quite dry. They're some of the driest paints that I've tried. And these are very, very creamy. So be mindful of that, because it's very easy to pick up a lot of paint. You need very, very little paint and more water if you want a more transparent look. I'm going to pause now for a minute about the watercolors and just talk about the rest of the supplies in this video, and you will also have them in the description box below with links. I'm using, the sketchbook is from Khadi, and it has a rough paper. Now you can see me struggling on how to get nine half pans to fit in my sketch. Yes, I found that very, very challenging, but I overcame it. Anyway, the sketchbook, I love it. I'm really, really enjoying the textured paper. It's not for everyone. It really depends on your personal preference, but that's my current sketchbook, and I wanted you to know because I always get questions on the supplies that I use. So this is the Khadi sketchbook. I am using the fountain pen, is the platinum carbon pen, I want to say. I got it from a recommendation by Jane Davenport, and it's a beautiful fountain pen, and the ink that it comes with, the carbon ink I think it's called, is waterproof, so it's perfect for my watercolor sketchbook. And I just wanted to make these swatches just a little bit more fun for myself because I have been testing quite a few sets recently. You'll see a couple more reviews or swatches or first impressions in the next weeks. And I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So basically I did a very, 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 very simplified, fast sketch of the box of these paints. So let's talk a little bit about the color selection. I think if I could design my own 36 pen set, I mean, I do have my own custom palette, it wouldn't be far from the colors that they went with here. There's a wide selection of pinks, like the top row is almost all of it is different pinks. A few really, really beautiful yellows. There's one lemon yellow and then quite a few shades that are orangey yellow, which is exactly what I like. There are a few greens that are kind of more kind of like mossy greens, I would say, earthy yellowish greens, as opposed to those deep, more bluish forest greens. There's a nice selection of teals, which I also love. There are quite a few blues. The one thing that is a little bit repetitive are the three purples. They're very similar to one another. And there are relatively fewer neutrals compared to other sets in this size, which for me is perfect because I don't tend to use a lot of the classic neutral colors that you find in sets. And if I do want a neutral, many times I just mixed my own. So the color choice here is very, very close to my taste and my personal preferences. I forgot to mention how much this set costs. So this set costs $36, which puts you at about $1 per half pan, which is a very, very good price, especially for what you get. So I can tell you about the paints. They are very creamy, very intense. Some are more opaque. Some are transparent. And of course, as you add more water, they get even more transparent. The slide that I showed at the beginning has the names of each pigment, and you can also see on the Altenew website their opacity table, so you can get an idea of how opaque or transparent these colors are. Altenew say these are artist grade and that the colors have a high light fastness rating, so that's good to know that they won't fade. And also when they dry up, they don't lose a lot of their brightness, which, you know, this really varies on the color and the company, but many times watercolors look very, very vibrant when they're wet, and then when they dry, they lose a lot of that vibrancy. And here I agree that there is kind of a minimal loss of it when the paint dries. If you're not familiar with Altenew, they are a company that I think they started with stamps. They mostly cater to stampers and card makers, also scrapbookers, but that's their target audience, I would say. So it's no surprise to me that this set works really well with that type of craft in mind. They are especially known for their flower stamp sets or floral stamp sets, which I have many of them, and I've had them in my stash for years. They're probably my favorite company to get the floral stamp sets from, just because they're in my opinion, really, really great. And I have guest designed for Altenew a couple of times in the past because I really love their products. So for me, it was always a win-win, you know, get some free product to work with on my design projects and yeah, get free product. just because, I mean, I love their products anyway. I have purchased many stamp sets from my own money, and then whenever they approached me for a guest design spot, I was always happy to participate because I love their products. But my point is that I think the set really works the best with that type of craft in mind. If you are a crafter, a stamper, and you want a good watercolor set with intense colors, with a great color selection in a very, very, very affordable price, also comes in a sturdy case. I really like the case. I think this is a great option. If you come from the more watercolorist, traditional fine art side, I'm not sure this would be the best fit, because this doesn't have the traditional colors that you might be used to if you're used to the sets from art supplies companies, like, you know, the brands that make mostly watercolors and acrylic paints and all that. And what I'm saying is that, you know, these colors have their names, that Altenew named them, and you can see the pigments there are different mixtures of pigments. If you're a bit familiar with pigment names, then you might be able to recognize them. But if you're coming from the watercolor zone, and, you know, for example, you're used to mixing your ultramarine blue with burnt sienna or something like that to get a gray, this set is not, it wouldn't work well for that, because these colors are mixtures, because the pigments are a little bit, they're arranged in different ways, and they're not named like the classic names that you find in artist grade sets and other ones from those companies that make mostly paints. I hope I'm making myself clear. But I really think that this set shines if you are a card maker, if you like drawing florals, for example, which is what I like. For those purposes, this set is lovely. I did play with it after I filmed this. I played with it quite a bit, and it was a lot of fun to paint with, but the mixtures are a little bit unpredictable, and it's kind of easy to get muddy colors because a lot of the paints have already white or black in them. But it's still very enjoyable, still fun to play with, and the colors are beautiful. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye bye.